Hey, we have the joy to pastor right outside of the Charleston area. And Charleston area is one of the fastest growing areas on the East Coast. It's about 400,000 people. And the suburb that we are a part of is pushing about 55 to 60,000. We've heard statistics that we have 11 new cars on the road a day. And yet what we're finding for us is that God is moving us out. He's moving us out to rural communities. In fact, our last 3 plants have been in that 30-minute to hour mark. And what we're finding is an amazing harvest in towns of 7,000, 3,000, and even 2,000. And what we found is what I want to talk to you about today is opportunity. That there is opportunity to think about when you are pushing for that next role or the next thing that God has for you. I got 3 opportunities I want to give you. The first opportunity in rural is that there's an opportunity to share the gospel. There's an opportunity for the harvest. We're finding that in these cities that they're somewhat forgotten, they're somewhat left out, but yet we're seeing in our area that the younger generation is actually staying in that community. The old concept used to be, hey, as you get older, move out of the rural community and go to the city. Now we're finding that they're staying. We're seeing statistics as high as 42%, 40 and under in those areas. And so it's a very exciting time. At the same time, we're also finding that 48% to 50% are claiming that they have no church affiliation, that they're done with church, that they're de-churched, that they're unchristian. So there is opportunity in these rural communities and the harvest is ripe. The other thing is that there's an opportunity with little or no life-giving churches. We have the privilege of living in the South, and it's a melting pot. And one of our values for our church is that we want our church to look like heaven. We want the churches in our cities to reflect heaven. And at the same time, in our culture and where we are, there's massive division, there's racial tensions, there's all of this stuff going on in our world. And so when we look to these rural communities, that there's this division. And at the same time, there's a lot of churches have been there for years with no concept of what we're trained about in CMN. There's no kids ministry, there's no spirit-filled teaching. And so there is this opportunity to plant life-giving churches that can impact a city and bigger than that, reflect heaven with little to no, with just a little bit of excellence that will draw people in with care and love. There's also an opportunity, which this has been a big one for us that we found, of financial cost. If we were to plant in Charleston, which is the major city in our area, the cost would be absolutely ridiculous. And so what we're finding is that we can go 30 to 45 minutes out in these rural communities for way less of an investment. We've recently bought a grocery store that's 38,000 square feet for way cheap. We've had a 42-acre land that was given to us. We've bought a karaoke bar in one of these cities, all at a fraction of the cost for what we would get in the major populated sections of our town. For us, the risk versus reward has a huge payout. And what we're finding with this opportunity in post-pandemic life, that our campuses in the rural context are growing way faster, have way more life with way more opportunity. I love what the CMN movement is doing. I love their heart for the rural community. And I challenge you that if you're a church and God is doing something in your heart, and if you're looking for an opportunity, look in the rural communities around you. Look in areas that are just a little ways out from you. Look in those places where maybe cities or towns of 10,000 or less. And then what you will find is an opportunity for an amazing harvest of people that need a life-giving church.